have the opportunity to share with you guys mindset through building a team. Now, a lot of times, we have no idea how to build a team when we're brand new. So let's just go to the core of what we're really talking about today. We're talking about going from recruit to sponsor. So our mindset topic today is going to be formulated on recruit to sponsor. What is that journey like for a brand new person? What do they feel? What are they thinking? How do we have someone transition from just being in ACN to really being in ACN? And so I'm honored with the task of really going over it. But before we begin, what is mindset? We got to understand that mindset is really a form of emotional intelligence. Think about this for a second. How many times have we ever been in a situation where we were offended by someone, we had, something bad happen, and we spent a long period of time, or days, weeks, years, months, upset at a person, and they didn't even know we were upset at them? That's like drinking the poison hoping they would die. Would you agree that's not really the definition of emotional intelligence? Would you guys agree? That's the opposite of emotional intelligence. So you really want to focus. Here's what I discovered, that the champions focused on what they wanted as opposed to what they didn't want in business. Every time I talk to a COC member, it's this incredible feeling that you get about where they're going. And here's the best part. Some of these COC members, we've been friends before they were even having success in ACN. They were just like a lot of you, wanting, hungry, asking themselves, when is it my time? Am I going to make it to one day SVP or COC or RVP? Now, looking at them today, the one thing I think back and remember is they were really focused on their goal, and they understood that it was about the journey. Give you an example. There was the 20th president, I believe his name was Garfield, and he got shot in the back, and he healed very well. But back in the day, they didn't have the technology that they have today to find out if the bullet was still inside of him. And so I don't know if you remember how he died. He passed away based on all the surgeries trying to find a bullet they didn't even know was in there. They were so focused on the negative, they killed the president. The infection occurred from all the surgeries, from ripping things apart, trying to dig in and look for all this craziness. Here's my question. Isn't it just as easy to think positive as it is to think negative? Isn't it just as easy? I remember driving a Volkswagen. Let me ask you a question. Do you think I want to drive a $400 Volkswagen I bought from the San Diego junkyard that had wooden floors and holes in it and rust where paint should have been? No, I didn't want to drive that car. But when I joined this industry, I started thinking about what the possibilities would be. And I just set my sail towards that direction. Now, emotional intelligence, in my opinion, is being happy. Imagine waking up every morning focusing on what really gives you value. Imagine thinking about emotional intelligence in the form of heaven on earth, right? I know there's no such thing as heaven on earth, but imagine, feeling like gratitude, an abundance mentality, trying to become healthier, thinking about and developing relationships, increasing and winning friendships, having long-term relationships develop and rekindle bonds that were severed years ago. See, in my opinion, that's what lifestyle is about. See, a lot of the leaders here, when we're going out there building this business, this is so much bigger than money. Don't get me wrong, I will always take the money. Trust me. But this is way bigger than the money. See, the growth process that comes with this. So now that we kind of understood, what emotional intelligence are, what if you were given, I'll ask you a question, what if you were given one car, the age that you first started driving, just one car, and it could be any car you ever wanted, your dream car, but here's the deal. What if you were given that one car, but it would be the one car you had for the rest of your natural life. Meaning you had to take exceptional care of it. You had to make sure, I mean, would you agree you would be getting every oil change early? You're like, oh man, I just have one car. You would make sure that that car was in such tip-top shape. You would do everything and then some to really maintain the quality of the one car you're going to have for the whole entire life. Well, get this. Believe it or not, you would watch what you put in it. You wouldn't just let anybody drive your car. You wouldn't let anybody hop in your car. You wouldn't let anybody do anything with your car. Well, isn't the truth that we only have one mind? And that one mind will last you an entire lifetime? So why would we allow certain things to come in our mind? See, because once it comes in, here's the deal. We project it out. And we could say certain things to certain people, but our filter translates differently through their emotion. And so here's what I believe. I believe that the top leaders in our industry, top leaders in the world, they're always working on what goes in their mind so they can have a quality product come out. See, the truth is, when I look at ACN, this is beyond the most intelligent way we could ever get paid. Get paid on something the whole world. Warren Buffett said it best. If there's something you love doing, make that your hobby. If there's something the world loves doing, make that your business. Would you agree this is probably the most intelligent way that for the masses that we can ever do something extremely great for our families and generations to come? Would you guys agree? Right? So whenever I was new, I didn't have the mindset, obviously, of a COC. So the question was, how do I have the mindset of a COC when I'm like a TT mindset, team trainer? Because things happen. Things will happen to us all. And as long as you're an ACN, you're going to experience people lying to you, telling you they're going to show up, but you can't let it affect you. So I would always default back to, I'll give you a little secret. This is my secret. You can write it down if you like. It's called WWTPD. WWTPD. Now, you're probably saying, what does that even stand for? Here's what it stands for. What would a top producer do? What would a top producer do? So when I'm in doubt, I just ask myself, what would a top producer do? And when I'm in doubt again, what would a top producer do? When I'm in doubt, what would a top producer do? So the more I start thinking about what a top producer would do, it's hard for me to think about what a broke Nekoda would do. So now that we understand where we're going with this training, let's talk about what we're really running from. So then we can know where we're going to. We're running from bondage. Is this a true statement? Is this a true statement? We're running from bondage. Financial bondage, I don't really need to explain. We all know what that means. When I was driving a Volkswagen, I didn't want to drive a Volkswagen. When I lost my sister, it was due to lack of financial support. And I'm telling you, that was bondage, and it was so painful throughout those years for different circumstances that I didn't even know if I could ever escape it. How could a guy like me that never had success, didn't know anyone that had success, how could I ever escape this bondage? I was making minimum wage. I was at the bottom of the 1%. I had more debt than I had money coming in every single week. So I was at the bottom 1%. Well, then how does a guy at the bottom 1% go to the top 1%? I'll tell you how. It's called ACN. But there was a journey. I had to identify what I was running from. See, I was running from financial bondage. I was running from physical bondage. Sometimes we'll have a pain or we'll think about something and it's so real we can feel it. But there's more people healed with placebo pills than anything else. Because a lot of that reverts back to mental bondage. And then what's the third one is spiritual bondage. Spiritual bondage. Now that's a touchy topic, so I'm not going to really go too much into that, but it really boils down to self-pleasure over all else. Focusing on your self-pleasure over everything else. Sometimes, those three all can be related to mental bondage. And here's what I understand. Most people that you're sitting down and you're presenting ACN to, they're in one of the categories. See, some people have a lot of time and no money. Some people have a lot of money and no time. But they're in one of those categories almost every time. And our goal is to give them a value with ACN to escape that bondage. I'm going to give you a quote. The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. So here's the question. What are your habits on a daily basis? What are the thoughts that are going on in your life? Where are you focused? What message are you communicating? See, there's three paradigms that I understood when I got involved in this industry. The first, I was hungry. See, these are the people, this is the category of the people we are exposing to ACN and enrolling into our opportunity. First category was hungry. I was extremely hungry. I lived with my mom in a low-income apartment housing. Imagine, thinking about Mr. Provenzano for a second. Fighting to get out of the inner city. Think about the leadership that's in this room. Some people come from totally different, scenarios. But I was what we call hungry. But here's what my mentor said. Nekoda, it's only going to get better. And I looked at him thinking, well, that's exactly what you should say. You're a good mentor. And then he just smashed me with a quote. And you're going to love it. He says, you can't fall off the floor. I got fired up. I was so jacked up. I was like, man, that's so true. I can only go up from here. I was at the lowest of my life, but my mindset shifted immediately, knowing that that was going to be the worst of my life. Okay, so after hungry, then there's had success and lost it. See, a lot of you guys don't know this. I got very blessed. I got involved in this industry. I didn't understand what a good company was. Got involved in a company that failed at 4.5 years after I got involved. But I was able to achieve an incredible lifestyle. I had expenses of almost $60K a month because I got my financial education from MTV. You get what you pay for. And so I had the cars, I had all the crap that didn't mean anything to anyone. Bought stuff I didn't even like to impress people I didn't even care about impressing with money I didn't even have. I was in bondage. So I had success. Then I found ACN and realized, oh my gosh, it's going to be the craziest decision of my life. Walk away from everything that I have to come into ACN with all this debt and start all over again. See, if it weren't for these founders, I would have never even considered that. See, I made a decision to follow them, and I'm telling you, I have never been more all in than where I am at today. And I think a lot of you feel the exact same way. That's why you're here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, some people have made mistakes, and had success, lost it. The economy. Some people, had broken faith in their previous industry. It doesn't matter how you arrive in ACN. And if you've had success and lost it, that doesn't matter either. That just knows you feel you deserve it. Because once a mind expanded, it's hard to go back to its original state. So you're here for a reason. And then there's that third category, where you go from money to meaning. What is money to meaning? Where you're really able to make a difference. What these founders are doing, and the Ronald McDonald House, and all the things that's happening, and the way they're making a difference and changing lives, and how many people have been able to do the things and free themselves of certain bondage, this is priceless. You can go from money to meaning. See, the greatest aha moment was when I realized that I can go from ordinary to extraordinary. And when I realized that that's possible, Guys, I gotta tell you, I was probably the most self-motivated person you could ever find. I didn't need an upline to motivate. I didn't need a sideline down. You just need to understand what it is that we're really going after. And in my opinion, it's money to meaning. The happiest people on the planet go from money to meaning. They're out there to make a difference. They're really out there to build something substantial. Now, the theme of what I want to share with you guys today is Field of Dreams. You know, that was a great movie. I saw it when I was a kid. You know, I was horrible at sports, even baseball. And all you have to do is stand there in the field, right? Unless you're Stott, I mean, he's a champion. But I'll tell you this, I had no skills. I had no skills, and then I asked myself, you know, what if it were possible just to replace the income that I was making? Would this be a home run? What if? What if all you had to do, imagine being on the pitching box and they throw a fastball and they say, Nekoda, if you hit one home run, you get $1 million. I said, what? One home run, 1 million? Shoot, I'm gonna go YouTube, I'm gonna do whatever I could to master video, coach, whatever it took. And then what if they told me, oh, well, Nekoda, you can't strike out. You just have to keep swinging. I just have to keep, what? Swinging? Now, I'm going to tell you something, folks. That's how I looked at this industry. I looked at this industry like, wow, all I got to do is keep swinging? You mean to tell me it's just me swinging? You mean they're going to, so why am I watching these videos? Why am I sitting at home thinking about it? I should be out there being about it. I should be out there in that pitcher's box swinging my heart out. Maybe I might get lucky and hit one almost a home run. That'll motivate me. That'll give me a little more wow. And I started thinking deeper. And I said, wow, you know, I come from such humble beginnings that, you know, I don't know if I can do it. And all that negative mindset creeped back in. And then I started thinking about my why. My mom had worked her entire life, lived on less to give us more, just put everything in the field, put me in a Christian school, special school, because I had a speaking disability where I couldn't even string a sentence together. And there's nothing like going up to someone. You feel like you're in this dark room all alone, all over the world, and you're like, and you can't even say 2 words. That was my life as a kid. So how in the heck would that guy ever be on a stage in front of tens of thousands of people sharing his silly story in North Carolina? What? Makes no sense. It makes no sense until you're a part of ACN, and I mean really a part of ACN. That's when it makes all the sense in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, what's your why? Dig deep. Is it to retire your parents? Is it to help your kids? You want to, here's my goal. Now my why evolves. I want to build a team with so much success and so large that our regionals look like an international. The reality is built on perception. The reality is built on perception. Do you think, you know, when someone's in T-ball, that they know for sure they're going to be in the major? No. They believe it with their core. Your reality is built on your perception. See, what is it that you see through your glasses of life? It's based on the things that poured into your mind, which created what you have today 5 years ago. And I'm going to drop something on you in a second that, you know, I think you're going to probably really remember, because it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me when I realized that success is formed through your littlest, your smallest insignificant moment of time. Now, hopefully you catch this. If not, I'm sure it'll be online. You can hear about it later. But the greatest tool I ever had, people have asked me, Nekoda, what was it that allowed you to have success? What was it that allowed you to live this lifestyle? What was it that allowed you to go from hunger to success, or from failure of success to success and making a difference? What was it? What was that one thing? And they're looking for a quantum leap of success. They're looking for me to give them one answer to jump from here to hear. Are you rich yet? You started 2 weeks ago. No, I'm not rich. Are you kidding me? 2 weeks ago. So people will be prodding and poking and wanting to know every step of the way. It's not just at the beginning. Once you're successful, they're going to ask you, what is it? Expecting you to say some like microwave success story. There's no such thing. You just had to go through it. Here's what I found. It's the most insignificant, the most tiniest, insignificant moment of time. It doesn't, look, if you go home and kick your shoes off instead of doing personal development or put an audio in that, or listen to a song in the car instead of personal growth, or listen to the radio instead of making that follow-up call or follow-through appointment or helping someone fast start qualify, if you do those things, it's not going to make you successful in that moment. You're not going to be successful in that moment, but you're also not going to be unsuccessful in that moment. And if you didn't do it, no one would even know that you didn't do it. But it's the collection of all those little insignificant moments that made this company and these founders who they are today. 5 years from today, you will be that person based on the collection of your insignificant moments. So what's the secret, Nekoda? Here's the secret. The secret is your decision. The secret has always been within you. It's your decision. Your decision. It's your decision. That's the secret. See, when people look at ACN, you know, why would someone go from recruit to guarding their content? I think that this company is so sick. Why wouldn't I show this to every single person I know so they can go from whatever category of life they're in to the next category, so they can escape bondage you didn't even know they were in? This opportunity is that ridiculous where they let a no one special like me. I failed. Guys, I was at community college for 5 years. And in every state. That's a 2-year degree. And I still don't have it. That's not funny. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing special. There's never been anything special about some of these superstars. Every one of them were sitting in a seat just like you, having the same thoughts and feelings you have right now. But then they made that decision. They made that decision. They said they're going to give everyone they know a shot. Because that's what you're doing. You're giving everyone you know that shot. What if that stranger wouldn't have walked in that room and invited me out to a meeting? See, I know some will make it. Some won't make it. Some go to college, community college and get their degree. Some don't. That's just the rule of it. I can't control that. But I signed up for community college anyway. I signed up for it anyway. I just didn't make it. See, ladies and gentlemen, it's not only about the people you know, it's also about the people you don't know. What if that individual would have never walked in that movie theater and piqued my interest in this opportunity? See, but here's the secret. He didn't chase me with the opportunity. A lot of us are chasers. He didn't chase me with the opportunity. Here's what he did. He came in there and presented it in a way to where I wanted more. Imagine if you like wine like me. I think wine is one of the most powerful things on the planet. I mean, why else? Noah, when he landed the ark, what's the first thing he planted? Grapevines. If you were in an ark that long, wouldn't you want some wine? And I'm telling you, if you love wine the way that some people love wine and you're looking for a 1989 Lafite Rothschild, and you're looking for some incredible, steak, some Japanese Wagyu, and you go to a restaurant and they say, sorry, sir, we're out of Wagyu and we're out of steak. However, we have white wine and a vegan steak. What is a vegan steak? Vegan steak? What is a vegan steak? And you're like, no, it's okay. I'll go say, no. Trust me, you've got to eat this vegan steak. You've got to have this wine. You're like, no, I don't drink white wine. No, trust me, you got to have this white wine. You got to eat this vegan steak. And they're just trying to shove this crap down your throat. You don't want anything of it. You don't want to have none of it. Ladies and gentlemen, think about building your team in that exact fashion. See, people are listening to you based on their wants and desires. Their wants and desires, their needs. And so you're just sorting. Some will see the opportunity, some you get to the event, some will say no, but don't forget, there's always a customer. That's what's building your business. We're a customer acquisition company. Don't just discard them because they're an orange instead of an apple. The greatest part of this business is you will have a coach. You will have a coach. The DNA, the culture of what you want either repels or attracts the people into your business. What is it that you're attracting in your business? Would you agree, Mr. Provenzano and the 4 founders, these guys attract some of the greatest leaders of all time? Here's what I know about them. Here's what I know about ACN. We will never leave you. The business will never leave you. They will believe in you until you believe in yourself. They will love you until you love yourself. That's what I could tell you about these incredible individuals. We have a DNA of success better than anything I've ever seen before. Will there be people that don't really want to see you win? Of course. There's going to always be people. They're there now. You just have never given them a filter before to express their true emotion. You've never given it to them. Some people will be for you. But why would you care about the opinions of an idle monkey? People will paint their face up like an absolute idiot. Go to an arena, scream like a monkey, pay to do it. For a player that wouldn't even say hello if they walked past them on the street. But they're too weak to scream for their family. Will you scream for your family? So be mindful of the opinions you buy, because when you buy someone's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. Now, here's what I want you to understand. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Great leaders never set out to be leaders at all. They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, it's always about the goal. You just got to keep swinging. Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. You just got to keep swinging. This opportunity is the greatest opportunity I've ever seen. And what I realized was I had to have 2020 vision. 2020 vision. 2020 vision. This should be your Genesis event. You want to dream so big, it's difficult explaining it to small-minded people. You get uncomfortable talking to a small-minded individual. That's what this is. That's what ACN is. We're a world-class company. ACN is doing what no other company on the planet is doing. You are at the forefront of it. And what makes the difference for you? WWTPD. Why be good when you can be great? You want to create a life that you never, ever need to take a vacation from. God bless your soul. This is your Genesis event, and fight for your family like no one else will, because no one else will, but you're the most blessed person in the world because you're here today at the beginning of the rest of your life. God bless each and every one of you guys, and I look forward to seeing a next level 2017.